And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate plans, health, nutrition, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. And bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on the show to help you win in any marketplace. Intelligent Talk Radio, I've got Fred Muth in the house, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome in, sir.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Good to see you again. You're looking very dapper with that suit on today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
What's new and exciting in your business?
Yeah, things are happening, man. Things are happening. We got the move over to Keller Williams, so a lot of paperwork transferring.
Yeah, you and I need to talk about that.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff happening, man.
Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's a done deal?
Oh yeah, we've been over there for probably 5-6 weeks now.
Nice. And your wife is now an agent?
She is.
How's she doing?
Doing great. Yeah, she's helping us out in a like a management capacity with the team, growing the team, and
good.
We're excited about it.
Mm-hmm. That's what it is in real estate. It's all teamwork.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen the large firms, and there's 20, 30 agents, and some of the agents really don't know who the other agents are.
Right.
And if a smaller firm, I believe you're 15 agents, 13, 15 agents?
A little less than that.
Everybody knows each other.
Right.
And you all work together.
That's right.
And that's the best thing, teamwork.
Yeah. You get the efficiencies involved with it. Everybody's helping out. That's what I love about being over at KW now is that, they're really helping out with open houses and just all types of different advantages there, key advantages. Real excited about that. So more from Fred Muth coming up here on our show. The second half of the show as well, we got Kat Montemurro, Infinity Medical, and Dr. Linda Evans coming in as well. She's a guest of Infinity Medical Institute as well, coming in on the second half of the show. And as you know, I'm the host of the show, Brandon Rhymes here, and I'm a top listing agent in the area. I want to let you know about a couple of hot property listings. These just hit the market. 207 Coronado Drive in Clearwater. This is a gorgeous property, commercial builder developer opportunity, and this would be a great liquor store. Combination of different things could work here. But if you look at the pictures on our TV show on WeBeam TV, you look at those twin towers. You see the twin towers there of the Wyndham Grand right across the street, and this is an opportunity to own a piece of dirt. Building is attached there, but most likely would be tore down at some point. Beautiful property, $3.5 million commercial property on Clearwater Beach. And over in St. Petersburg, I've got another commercial asset as well, the commercial property, 7424 4th Street North. This is a gas station, corner lot, gas station, mini mart, and you also have 3 service bays as well. Great location, 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. Just a beautiful property, and it's a great opportunity to get in the real estate space. We'd love to talk to you buying, selling, or investing. Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And this segment is brought to you by our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bilmar Beach Resort over on beautiful Gulf Boulevard, Treasure Island. And it's got 2 pools on site. They've got conference rooms, whether you're planning a vacation, a local staycation, business trip, or a wedding. The Bilmar Beach Resort is the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to reach out to them, let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you, and take them up for special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort on Treasure Island, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got Fred Muth in the house, a.k.a. the Tin Man. Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Construction industry is still rocking, right?
It's gone wild.
Wild.
Most of the time when I'm on the show, I mention eventually I want to slow down a little bit. It's not happening.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like it. Keep it coming at me. I deal with a lot of customers that are moving down from New York. I can't imagine why, right? Cool here, ice cold up there. And what's phenomenal about when I talk to people from New York, everybody wants a lanai. They're not sure what it is, but they want a lanai. A lanai can be a screen enclosure, screen roof, solid roof product, screen walls, could be a glass room. And when they come to Florida, they want a lanai. And then, of course, it's my job to explain what exactly they're looking for.
Right.
And tell them what they can get option-wise, etc. We have this new line, I believe, that Radio Chris, our other guy.
Chris Hatfield, yeah.
I like to call him Radio Chris. I think he should be in the radio business, not in the aluminum business, with a voice like that. He's talked about this. We've taken on this Renaissance line, which is very nice. It is a, how do we get this on?
Yeah, you can hold it up.
We get it right on here. There we go. Yeah, these are basically high-end porte-cocheres. And this is a great product. It's been around not as long as, as our other products have been. There were some substandard products similar that did not have the heavy gauge extrusions. And this product has the very heavy gauge extrusions. And I've seen several demonstrations of the product itself, and I'm in love with it, so to speak. Our guy, Richard's son, he sold one already. So
nice.
I don't believe it's installed yet. Once it's installed, I want to get a look at it. Good size.
Wow.
So that's the next thing on our plate. However, I'm still bidding many screen enclosures and patios. They come across my plate 5-6 leads a day. So we're doing very well.
That's awesome, man.
And I mentioned, I always mention the customers from New York because I get a real kick out of them. They always want something a little different. And I had a lady call me the other day and she said, well, come on down. I don't want the average standard looking enclosure. So I go and I meet her. She says, I want an octagon.
Oh, wow.
I said, let me see the back of the house. I said, look at the back of the house. I say, listen, can I give you half an octagon? She goes, that's like half a stop sign. I said, tell you what, I'll give you a pentagon. I'll add one more wall to it.
Nice.
She goes, 5 sides. I said, yes. We designed it. I sold it.
Nice.
Very, very nice. And,
I like
it's,
that.
It's unusual looking as opposed to the standard cookie cutter.
Yeah. So is that what she was just looking for something different?
Something different.
Huh.
Yeah. And the neighborhood is high end. So she didn't want to go with what everybody else has.
Wow.
And there's a 99% chance we're going to get it by the HOA.
Okay.
So, of course, we do need the approval for that to build it.
And that's the other side of the coin is a lot of times you got to look at the permitting side. You got to look at the HOA approvals,
That's
setbacks, encroachments.
Setbacks are, we can figure them in most cases immediately. If I get a boundary survey initially going into it, I can dictate where it can start and stop.
Right.
However, I did run into another snag in the city of Tampa, which is something very new to me since the many years I've been doing this. They've come up with a new percolation equation on properties that the homeowner has not had the CO for minimum 2 years.
Okay.
And the equation basically takes into consideration square footage as well as a cubic foot factor based on from top level down into the ground. So it's a pretty involved equation that I need to figure prior to going forward with permitting. So basically, if there's more than 50% of the lot that is already covered with masonry, there's about a 2% chance I'm going to get a permit to build the job.
Wow.
Unless 2 years goes by and there's no flood issues.
Right. So
That's a new one.
They want to make sure that the rainwater is not going to run into other neighbors' yards. It's not going to, it's going to percolate through the ground and it's not going to sit too long. And then you have the insects or the risk of flood.
That's it. You hit it on the head. And it's South Tampa specifically because of the low elevation of South Tampa.
Yeah. It's interesting. South Tampa has some of the most expensive real estate, but it's one of the lowest areas in the Tampa Bay market.
What's the high point? 11 feet or something? 12 feet above sea level?
Right.
That's it.
When it rains hard during the summer, that whole bay shore, all those areas are really wet.
The water wants to go to the bay that's already at high tide.
Right.
Yeah, so it's tough.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And yeah, the real estate market in general, it's still just a great market to be in. The Palm Harbor area, East Lake, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, great area to be, buying, selling, investing in real estate. And then your company, you guys see in the business, you said pretty busy. Have you noticed any kind of a slowdown in the $500,000 homes and above?
No, I have not.
No.
At this point. I'm assuming that you're experiencing that in your business.
Yeah, so there's a slowdown in the higher price properties.
The high end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ordinary average Joe is still buying.
Yes.
At under 500.
Yeah, typically
250 to 5 is still moving.
Yeah, your 150 to 300 is still hot. I mean, if
Still
it's
hot.
priced right, the inventory doesn't last as long, and we're seeing more and more expired listings too when it comes to properties not selling within that given 3 months or 4 months, whatever they signed 6-month agreement with their current agent. We're seeing that, so it's a shift over to the buyer side.
Yes, it is.
So for the first time in a long time, now we're looking at buyer market.
In our business, let's say the average job that I sell maybe 18,000.
Okay.
All right, and the average. The houses that are still popular, would you say 150 to 3?
Yeah,
I was figuring 250 to 5, but you say 150 to 3.
Yep.
If the home is worth 2.25, and they don't want to buy the 500 because they can't basically afford it,
right?
They're going to come to me for the add-on.
Right.
They're going to buy the in-between space. They want the in-between space.
That's right. It's such a way that you can just utilize what you already have, improve what you have. We saw that when the recession happened back in the day. People were doing a lot more home remodeling. There wasn't as much new construction, and then people said, "Hey, let's stick with what we got. Let's improve the property." So there's no better way than to add a lanai screen room, add that in between space. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us when we come back. More from Fred. We also have our feel-good story of the day coming up. This is an interesting one. Former presidential chef uses lottery win to feed the homeless. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, your number one consumer advocate. Check out our website, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry, by surfing the radio waves. We'd love to talk to you about our book and some of our events that we're doing. That's kind of the prequel to our business that we launched with the ultimate fighting champion, Ken Shamrock himself, Des Woodruff as well, Business Growth Celebrity Academy. Check out bgca.co, bgca.co for more information on that business that we launched with the former WWF wrestler and UFC champion Ken Shamrock. All right, we're back here in studio. We got Fred Muth in the house, the Screen Man, aka the Screen Man, the Tin Man rather, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about his business as well as negotiation. Interesting topic. But we've got a couple of hot listings here. I got to let you know about these properties. We got 103 South Havana. Owner motivated on this one. We did a price reduction again down to $482,000. 103 South Havana in beautiful South Tampa. The Tampa Plant High School District, one of the most sought after districts in all of Tampa Bay. 103 South Havana Avenue, 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,500 square feet, reduced down to $482,000. Beautiful property in South Tampa. All right, taking you over to East County, East Hillsborough County. 4212 Thistle Terrace Place in Valrico, 4 bedrooms, 2 full bath. You also have a half bath as well. River Hills Country Club, a great opportunity to purchase, down to $439,000, just reduced. And this property is a pool home with lots of solar as well. He's got solar built into the roof. It is a net positive property, generating more from the solar than it's actually utilizing. So no electric bill here. The gentleman that was the owner actually fueled his Tesla on that property as well. So interesting stuff happening around the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a new restaurant partner as well. The Lucky Dill is our official restaurant partner. The Lucky Dill, they got a location on Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, US 19 in Palm Harbor. It is a deli, a New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, banquets. It's a great restaurant, the Lucky Dill, home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. They've got some great food over there, burgers, salads, all kinds of great food. The Lucky Dill is the official hotel partner, restaurant partner rather, of the Consumer Quarterback Show.
I've eaten there. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You can't get your mouth around the sandwich.
Yeah, it's almost like a fork and knife type deal
right,
sometimes.
Now we're back to New York. Boy, they know how to do it, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do it right, and it's like almost all of us are from New York in one way or
Somewhere,
another.
yes.
I think I traced back my family history. It was first generation. My grandparents were from, on my dad's side, my biological dad's side, from Portugal.
Wow.
So imagine that, leaving the mother country, crossing the big sea,
Sure.
not knowing what you're going into.
Mm-hmm. So where did they settle?
It was a town called Terrytown in Maryville. I think it was Maryville.
New York?
Yeah, New York, yeah.
Terrytown I'm familiar with.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Headless Horseman, I
Yes,
think, that story.
Yes.
And then my dad broke off in the 80s and started his real estate company down in Port Charlotte.
Okay,
Yeah.
good move.
So it's in the blood. Real estate's
Yeah.
in the blood.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure, right? So, yeah, good stuff, man. So when we talk about, any industry, it's interesting. We thought we might talk about negotiation during this segment because it's kind of fun. It's a fun topic. I just finished a book. I've actually read it twice now or listened to it 2 or 3 times, but it's really cool. It's a book by an FBI negotiator, former FBI top negotiator. It's called Never Split the Difference: Negotiating as If Your Life Depended on It. Chris Voss, a former FBI top hostage negotiators, field-tested tools for talking anyone into or out of just about anything. So
Well,
pretty cool book.
I like the part talking them out of something. That's what the FBI guys have to do.
Yes,
They have to do that very well.
And he's got great stories in the book, and hostage negotiations, bank robbery, all kinds of cool stuff. But it relates to life, and that's the point of that book, is he talks about how he was called into Harvard, and they were called to go negotiate with the Harvard people, the academics. And then he basically beat the academics because his stuff really worked. It was real life. The academics were more based on theory and what they
Sure.
thought would work on an economic model.
That's right. When
Yeah.
you get out of bed in the morning, the negotiations begin.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Everyday life. It's whether it's with your spouse, your pets, your customers, your clients.
That's right.
It's an all-day event.
It really is.
Then you go to bed and you have to negotiate to yourself how to go to sleep.
Yeah. Your bedtime. Should I watch one more show or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and when it as it relates to business, it's always interesting because the old school way I think is hammer them, beat them up. I won that thing. I won.
Ooh,
You
not
should
good.
never come out of a negotiation thinking that you won. You should come out of a negotiation thinking win-win, and then also, if anything, that the other person thinks in their mind that they won.
That's right. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
In our business, what I'm selling is a hypothetical product. It's not there.
Right.
So we do price them tight. And my hat goes off to Richard, helps me with a lot of the pricing. And he prices them to where he needs to be.
Yep.
And we don't put fluff on top to negotiate in most cases.
Right.
The time the fluff goes in is when it's a real nightmare of a project.
Right.
Because you never know what can go wrong, what may go wrong. In our business, basically, if every day's a sunny day and all the permits hit at the right time, the concrete's in, everything goes well, we scored. But it's construction. Murphy's Law is there every day.
Yeah.
So when you get the real oddballs, sometimes you might want to put a little fluff just to cover it.
Right.
And that minor fluff that you put in there, that could be your negotiating number.
You're right.
On the cookie cutters, we are right straight to the wax with the pricing. However, 9 out of 10 people would like to negotiate the price.
Yeah. Is it really that many? 9 out of 10? Just say it.
It's 9 out of 10.
Do they say is that the best you can do? Or
Well,
like what do you hear most?
I play a game, I'm sort of humorous with the customers. It'll be let's say $7,850 for the screen, $3,300 for the concrete.
Yeah.
Guy will hand it back to me and say, "Give me your best price."
Yeah.
Okay. I turn around. I mark it up.
Yeah.
I put another 500 on.
There you
I
go.
hand it to them. And, that's how the humor starts. Because they just like to negotiate. Some people just love to negotiate.
They do.
That
Some people
price
do.
that I gave them may have been the lowest that they've ever gotten.
Yes.
They still want to negotiate it.
They're still going to ask for a little bit more.
And then that's when we start to, we wheel and deal.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw another door in. Well, I don't want another door.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll take this door out. What?
Yeah.
So after 15, 20 minutes in our business, you could probably negotiate the deal.
Yeah.
Not so in the real estate business.
Yeah. Real estate's a little bit different.
Your seller comes to you, he wants 300. You have a buyer that wants to pay 250.
Yeah.
You're the guy in the middle.
Yeah. Exactly.
You make it happen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You bring them together.
We try to make it. We try to bring it together. We want to understand the underlying concerns. When we have, I think you were on last time. I had Larry in studio.
Yes. Yeah. He was. I enjoyed him.
He's a hoot, isn't he?
Creative financing.
That's
phenomenal.
right. So when it comes to real estate, there's ultimately there's 4 variables that you play with. You got the price, you got the term, you got the interest rate, and the payment.
Right.
So if you can negotiate those 4 in a different way, because one seller, for example, the seller might get hit with a huge tax burden if he sells the whole thing and cashes out. He might be in a tax bracket where it's going to benefit him to maybe take payments over a 3 or 4 year draw.
I like that idea.
So that's where.
See, I never thought of that. And I've wheeled and dealt with some real estate myself, and I was listening to him,
Yes.
here on the show, and then I played it back the day that it aired,
Yeah.
and I listened again, and I said, "Man, that is a phenomenal concept.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
makes a lot of sense."
And I've got a deal. I got some deals under negotiation right now with another investor type that has, if he's in that school of thought, he knows what we're. So he says, we want to do a 40-year amortization with a 4-year balloon on it, or a 7-year. He's at a 7-year, and seller just doesn't want to go that far out.
Mm-hmm.
But his line of thinking is, again, it's always kind of like negotiation or. Buffett and these guys, you talk about protecting the downside.
That's right.
Ray Dalio. So protecting the downside. He said, hey, worst case scenario, something happens. What if I can't refinance out of that in 4 years? Something happens, China, all these different things looming out there. He doesn't want to be stuck with a 4-year balloon that he might not be able to refinance out of.
Right. Yeah, and it's very hard to predict what may happen in 4 years.
Right.
You watch the news every day. You call it fake news, call it humor, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It is frightening.
Yeah.
If you take it to heart, it's frightening.
It is. Yeah.
Yes,
That's why you got to kind of drown that out and just focus on what you can control. What Stephen Covey talked about is your sphere of concern versus your sphere of influence, what you can actually, control. Focusing on that Pareto principle, that 80-20 rule, those 20% of the things that you can do that are going to affect 80% of your success and wealth.
Right. And then your control is very limited.
Right.
I mean, when you're talking about big numbers,
That's right.
You have a very minute control factor. And the idea is to get that part of it, bull by the horns, and don't leave go, and basically control it.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you look at, you can bother yourself with these geopolitical things. You can, let it affect you, and it just brings you down to where, your attitude. One of the things from that book too that I took away is that you are 31% smarter when you're in a positive attitude. When you're in a positive frame of mind, you're 31% smarter.
How true that is.
Your brain just operates better when it's in a positive state.
Yes, it's the same way when you're around a lot of negative people. It's very, very easily to come down to their level.
That's right.
If you can take the step and jump above that,
yes,
and be the one to not be negative,
that's right.
You'll see them come up to your level.
Exactly.
In some cases.
Yes, absolutely. You disassociate with them, change your top 5. That's why you hear the top 5, your rule of 5, you're the 5 combination of the 5 people you hang out with all the most. That's why it's so true with a lot of those things. But hey, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, reach out to Fred Muth if you're considering a screen room, patio room, lanai, that in-between space, right, Fred?
You coined the phrase. I use it every day. Thank you so much.
TampaScreens.com. TampaScreens.com.
That's it.
Yeah, TampaScreens.com, ConsumerQB.com. And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. We're going to be talking with Infinity Medical Institute right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty team at Keller Williams. and we're helping you win in any marketplace. That's the goal of our show. Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region's #1 consumer advocate program, 6 years running now on air right here on 1380 The Biz, the Wall Street Business Network. Got our weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone and daily TV show on WeBeam TV as well. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving, and they strive to be the very best Tampa Bay moving companies by exceeding your expectations, and they are one of the best reviewed as well, where on Google they hold a 4.6 rating, the highest in the Tampa Bay area, A rating on the Better Business Bureau, A rating on Angie's List, and a 4.5 rating on Yelp. And they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Check out Brothers Easy Moving. Give them a call. Let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to help you win in any marketplace. Also have a separate TV show as well on the American Dream. So we're really excited about that. The American Dream on CBS, Sunday morning, CBS broadcast locally, and Roku, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and we do some really fun segments on that. The last one I went up with Captain Will Smith. Fred, you remember Captain Will Smith? Went up in a jet with him and flew around a little bit and got a nice segment for our TV show. So
How high-'d you go?
Oh man, I think we're relatively low because we did from Tampa to Orlando just a quick 23-minute flight. Yeah. So they kept us pretty low.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, a lot of fun there. So in studio today we got Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Kat Montemurro back in studio, Infinity Medical Institute. Welcome back in.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Good to see you again. And Dr. Cox, Dr. Linda Cox, is a patient of Infinity Medical Institute. Welcome in.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming in. So, let's jump right into it. So, Kat, why don't we start with just a little bit of overview? You know, we've talked several times on the show here, and I had a great experience. I was talking with a seller that I was listing their property. He said, "Oh, I heard you talking with Infinity Medical the other day. It was an interesting conversation, and they enjoy it." So, why don't we give her a little recap?
Sure. Excuse me. Infinity Medical Institute, we have been in business for 10 years. We primarily help men and women with low testosterone, women who are perimenopause and menopausal symptoms. We absolutely take labs on them. After we achieve what their labs are, we go ahead and assess if they are a candidate for a patient. But what we do is we change lives. And the way we do that is reversing the signs of aging by the pellet therapy, bioidentical hormone therapy.
Yeah, I like that. You know, the pellet therapy, it's, just a great way to go when you look at the opportunity to live a better life, to fully, live the life and have the energy levels, the vigor, the, all the different ways that it's going to help you. So, Dr. Linda Cox, tell us a little bit about your experience with Infinity Medical Institute.
Sure. I, about 9 or 10 years ago, I started back with them. But before that, a decade before that, I actually had tried to work with traditional medicine and with gynecological medicine and for hot flashes and whatnot. And after 10 years of frustration and lack of a good effect, I actually heard the radio announcement on regarding Infinity Medical. And I thought, wow, that really does sound like me. I'm kind of foggy and I'm losing muscle mass and things like that. Don't have as much energy as I wanted to. And I thought, well, maybe this is something I should look into. So I went to work. I am a pediatric audiologist by education and trade. And I couldn't even get through the day. At the end of the day, I'd reflect on my patient load. And there would be like blanks, like who was it at 10 o'clock that I saw? You know what I mean?
Right.
And you go through your whole day, and I noticed there was a few missing places, and fogginess. And so I decided the next day I was going to actually come and visit these people and talk to them.
Right.
And so I did. And I didn't sign up right away. I went home and I did some research. I do my due diligence on everything. Yeah. And I couldn't find any reason not to. Yeah. Outside of traditional medicine's thoughts.
That's great. Yeah.
And so I did go with it, and I've been happy for 9 years.
Yeah. So you finally got to a point where you said, enough's enough.
Exactly.
I'm going to take action. Kind of like, one of my mentors talks about, you see that result that you want, and then in your mind, you take action, and you take an action step towards attaining that goal.
Yes.
So you did your research, and what you found is what you liked.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, so and back to you, Kat. So it's all ages can work with this program. Talk a little bit about what you see in terms of it's happening earlier and earlier as well. Even in the 20s, it's happening.
Sure. Primarily, women do come to us who are perimenopause. Those symptoms are probably, they start to achieve those symptoms, I'd probably say early 30s, late 20s. I would say the most, I would definitely say the critical condition that they're dealing with symptoms would be lack of sleep,
Yes.
depression, anxiety, and unfortunately, because of traditional medication, they are misdiagnosed. And everybody gets a pill. A pill will take care of this.
Yes.
A pill will take care of that. No, we need to restore the body and bring it back to its prime. Obviously, when we were younger, we had a certain amount of testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So that's why everything worked as well as it did. If you have a woman who's in menopause, she has a very high FSH. So that FSH, if it's elevated over 20, it requires quite a few treatments to bring her down, because you have to balance her with progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone. In order for it to work effectively, all of those symptoms, all of those hormones need to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to your question, women in general will have low libido. They have irritability. They feel as though, what's wrong with me? I'm washed out. I can't handle my workload. I can't handle my surroundings at home. I'm not as effective as I should be in whether it's their workout, so on and so forth. So once they start to restore the body back to where it should be, that's when they start to see the results.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think today it's a synergistic effect that you're looking for, and it's a combination of things that are happening to us as human beings as we evolve. On one hand, we live in the greatest time to be alive with all the different technologies that we're afforded, but on the other hand, how much are those technologies affecting our health when it comes to cell phones, stress, electromagnetic radiation. A lot of these things that are kind of underlying that we sometimes forget about, because the benefits of being able to do work while you're on the boat or, on a cruise ship, whatever it might be, right? So all of these different factors are now kind of bombarding the human element, the human spirit, and the body. So with Infinity Medical Institute, you're able to help them live a better life, longer life in many cases. There's proof that you've talked about in the past, as well as how it helps the heart and those types of cholesterol levels and things like that too.
Dr. Linda Cox can certainly emphasize on that with the health issues.
Yeah.
I do see a cardiologist, and I told him that I was, connected with the Infinity Medical, and he said, well, tell me about that. So I did, and explained the pellets and whatnot. And he said, well, the estrogen is cardioprotective. And so as a menopausal woman, you lose that. And this gives you cardioprotection coming in from estrogen through the pellets.
Nice.
And I was like, wow, that's very good to know, especially, and helps with heart palpitations and those kinds of things. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's a complex puzzle of hormones and vitamins and minerals and all the different things that go into, making the body operate. By the way, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Kat Montemurro, representing Infinity Medical Institute. Dr. Linda Cox, as well, as a guest of Infinity Medical Institute here in studio. And yeah, so it's a situation where, especially in men too, I think for men, a lot of times, we kind of push it off. We don't make decisions, and in a lot of cases we don't understand. So then therefore we don't maybe investigate as much, but it's a way that you can combat lack of sleep. You're going to lose muscle over the years. Your energy levels are going to decrease, the vigor, your libido, lots of ways that, Infinity Medical can help you turn that around and make it a positive in your life.
Every morning I get a download from ScienceDaily.com. And you can go to ScienceDaily.com and put in whatever your interest level you have, astronomy, oceanography, whatever your interest is.
Right.
Mine was pediatric audiology and pediatric issues, and also women's health and men's health.
Nice.
And every morning I get a download, and it's all the top research throughout the world.
Yep.
And oftentimes it will address the imbalance issues of hormones. Most recently, I saw that they felt like the bioidentical hormones were helpful in treatment or in maybe reducing the amyloid plaque for Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's coming into its own, and
Yeah.
people are now starting to pay more attention to it, but instead of a naysayer attitude.
Right.
You know, they're starting to come around more win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard that as well. Studies against, the Alzheimer's. Kat, back to you. Like, give us more of what's the benefits of this as well? Because there's so many benefits that people don't really think about.
It is absolutely positively a preventative. You absolutely want to get to the core of the issue. The only way you can do that is identified by your labs. When you do come in, you consult with a physician. We find a lot of the medications is a contraindication of what's going on with them. As for instance, if you are prescribed with a psychology or psychotic type of meds,
Yep.
and then a depression meds, it winds up going against each other.
Yep.
When you have those type of chemicals in your body, it starts to affect your adrenal glands, everything that's going on internally. So there's one disadvantage with that. When you start to repair the body with the natural hormone back into your system, you're going to start to create a different balance in your body. You're going to be able to achieve certain things that you haven't had in a while. And also having the side effects of medications obviously sets you back as well. You don't have the endurance, you don't have the clarity, you don't have the mindset.
That's right.
When you have the hormones back in your body, you're restoring what you have, and then obviously exponentially even getting better. It will require some time. Sometimes it's, one treatment, two treatment. I do know that we certainly specialize in every single patient. Not every one patient is different.
Right.
You have patients, we've restored marriages. You have patients where, you have low libido, you're disconnected. A woman starts to feel terrible about herself,
Right.
there's weight gain, very insecure. So she goes ahead and goes to her physician and they prescribe her medication, which winds up sometimes having an adverse reaction.
Right.
All it is low testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. Another thing is you have someone getting addicted to sleep meds.
Right.
Here you are, you're having sleep meds, you can't sleep, so they get addicted to Ambien and so on and so forth. But
Right.
the progesterone helps you sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, more from our expert contributors when we come back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we have our feel-good story of the day. Former presidential chef uses lottery win to feed the homeless. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
Show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
sing, majesty.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, a top listing agent in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida, top 1% realtor in the United States. And we have a great buyer team as well. Buyers, if you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you and help you position yourself to win when it comes to real estate. We got a great team over at our team at Keller Williams now, and published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We'd love for you to take a copy of that, check it out online. And it's kind of the prequel to our company that we launched with Ken Shamrock, the ultimate fighting champion. Ken Shamrock and also WWF legend, his partner Des Woodruff. The Business Growth Celebrity Academy. Check out bgca.co for more details on how to build wealth and increase personal status by becoming a micro celebrity. bgca.co. Couple of hot listings here over on Clearwater Beach. This is 207 Coronado Drive, $3.5 million listing of mine on the beach. This is a perfect opportunity for a business developer, entrepreneur, someone looking to really build a really, just an awesome opportunity, business opportunity over on Clearwater Beach. It's $3.5 million property, but you see the land is the big value there. It's right on the #1 beach in the world, Clearwater Beach, right across from Pier 60, and just across the street, directly across the street from the Wyndham Grand, and then also the Hyatt is just to the left. Prime opportunity, 207 Coronado Drive, and also a residential property at 1370 Gulf Boulevard, Unit 401. This is in the Bella Rosa condo, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. 2,200 square feet, just listed, gorgeous property, and a great opportunity to live in an exclusive building that was constructed in 2004, combines modern living with luxurious amenities, beachside pool and spa, regulation tennis courts, fitness center, and of course, direct access to the beautiful Gulf of Mexico on Sand Key. All right, our feel-good story of the day is our Tell Me Something Good segment here.
Tell me something good.
Former presidential chef uses lottery win to feed the homeless. A renowned chef who's cooked for many presidents is using his $250,000 lottery prize to feed the homeless. Roberto Mendoza was the chef to President Trump, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George Bush, and international royalty, but his life wasn't always so rewarding. Growing up in El Salvador during the war in the 80s, Mendoza said food wasn't easy to come by. He was even kidnapped for 2 months. The Salvation Army found him and sent him to Canada for safety. From Canada, he went to California. I know what it's like to be hungry, he said. I told myself when I turn a teen that if I'm ever in position to give back, I'd do everything I can to make sure that no one else goes hungry. Today, Mendoza cooks for the homeless in Charlotte, North Carolina every Saturday. What is in my heart is cooking for the homeless, Mendoza told the USA Today. With his lottery winnings, he plans to build a cafeteria for a small village in the Dominican Republic where he frequently visits. This last December, I bring toys, clothes, shoes, and cook for the little ones. This is a very poor village where sometimes they eat and sometimes they don't, he said. Pretty cool story. Pretty neat. Feel good segment there in our show. And let's go ahead and jump into our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning
All right,
rounds.
top tips, nuggets of advice. We'll start over here with Fred Muth, since he's the veteran on the show. We've got top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom.
Okay, the aluminum guy sitting here with the medical professionals. This is great. I feel better already.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in great shape here.
Yeah.
Top tips in our industry, construction. I advise all homeowners to ask as many questions about the project that you can think of. Don't worry about redundancy. Don't worry about feeling like you're aggravating the consultant. It is the best thing to do to ask the questions.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it more than anybody could imagine. When I deal with a customer and they've got the questions, I know that customer is going to be a happy customer on the back end because we covered it all.
That's right. Welcome the questions. And
Welcome the questions.
You take. What I love about you, Fred, as well with your business model is that you take a consultative approach.
I do.
And you're helping them through the process.
When I walk into a project, I have tunnel vision. I look at the project, I talk to the customer, and I know what they want, and I try to give them the best options and the best product for the price range that they're in.
Love it. All right.
It works out.
Top tips, nuggets of advice. Kat Montemurro, Infinity Medical Institute.
Okay, I would absolutely say if you're feeling tired, if you have irritability, if you're having problems in your marriage, if you find yourself really don't have a plan for your future and you're just pretty much getting tired of your lifestyle, just give us a call. If not, we can go ahead and discuss anything with you over the phone. You can come in for a free consultation. I would love to change your life. I've done it for 1,500. I have 1,500 patients.
Wow.
And
Nice.
we are very blessed. And quite frankly, we treat everyone individually. We cultivate a wonderful relationship and we just work with them as best we can.
I love it. Good stuff. All right, Dr. Linda Cox.
I would say absolutely. If you don't feel like you're on top of your game for any reason, then consider Infinity Medical. They can change your life. And what's really nice about this is that you may notice it right away, but this is like a treatment that keeps on giving.
Right.
Your body will infuse it and become stronger, and you would just feel so much better.
I love it. Yeah, good stuff. All right, my tip for the day. I always like to focus on the Pareto principle, kind of like we talked about in the first half, is you got out there, Wilfredo Pareto, 1895, he's an Italian economist, and he coined the phrase, the Pareto, it was later named the Pareto principle. I think he called it the 80-20 rule at the time. What he said was that, and what he noticed is that 80% of the land and the wealth in Italy was owned by 20% of the people. And he thought, deeper into that as an economist would. And what that's done is he's related that now into, we've related that into all sorts of business. There's funny examples of it. If you think about it, 80% of the beer is drank by 20% of the people, right? 80% of the crime is committed by 20% of the people. In your closet, your wardrobe, you're going to wear 20% of your clothes about 80% of the time. So the 80-20 rule, how does it relate to you in your life and business? Since we're talking here on the Wall Street Business Network, the way that it relates in business is there's 20% of the things, the task that you can focus on that's going to contribute to 80% of your success. So I'm going to relay that to you as, what are those 20%? What are those 2 or 3 key factors that you can do on a daily basis that's going to make you more money, make you more successful, or whatever your goal is? All right, good stuff. Let's do another round.
I love the 80-20 equation.
Yeah.
And it fits. I've thought like that for many years. It doesn't always work for me because sometimes I go, 30-70.
Hey, it's still good, though.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about Tampa Screens and aluminum. We're doing it every day. We're writing them up, selling them. The economy's still good here. We talked about the real estate market slowing down, 500,000 plus homes, half of it, $150,000 to $300,000 products, homes, still selling, still moving.
Yeah.
They are typically the people that are buying the enclosures.
That's right.
It's working out real well.
It's good stuff. All right. So anything else that we overlooked that you'd like to talk about with Infinity Medical Institute? By the way, you're located right here, just down the road from where we're on air here at Salem Communications. You're located right on West Shore Boulevard.
Yes, we are. Actually, we've been there for 10 years. We are actually just having an anniversary party. Great physicians, extremely well knowledge. We do procedures Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We are running some specials on the cosmetic ends. We did add new services. We do PRP procedures as well, stem cell. We are very well known in the industry. I will tell you about 20% of my patients come in and they turn into 80% just by all the referrals.
Yeah, there you go. I like
you.
that. Relating that back. Any other drop-ins you might want to add, Dr. Cox?
I would just say that you have to treat yourself first.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling on top of your game, it affects all other things that you do.
Yeah, it really does.
This is the way that 20% is you. You have to.
That's right.
You have to watch out for yourself and treat yourself. And then the other 80% is like falling off a log for easy to get it done.
It'll fall in line if you go into it with a
Exactly.
positive attitude, with that positive mindset. We were talking about earlier, you're 31% smarter when you're in that positive mindset. So it really does relate. Thanks so much. Hey, another great show. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Cat Montemurro, Infinity Medical Institute, and Dr. Linda Cox. Thanks for being a guest as well today.
Absolutely.
We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. There's so many ways you can do good. You can donate blood, you can volunteer your time at a food bank or feed the homeless. There's lots of ways you can get involved. Make sure you follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, our Consumer Quarterback Show page is out there as well on Facebook. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the Consumer Quarterback.